let's go outside. Let's take a walk in the sun. There are things to learn and things to see. A big wide world for you, your dog, and me. Dog Talk. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Dog Talk. I'm Pat Becker. We got a super show for you today, and we're going to start off. Nancy Haddock from Twister Agility has brought Lesa down here with us. How are you?
I'm just fine.
And Lesa Laster, this is your dog, her name is?
London.
London, that's right. We were talking earlier about the 3 L's. It just fits right in. So London is, there again, a standard poodle, very kind of small for her age, for her type and standard. But, poodles are great dogs. People always think of them as kind of weak and, Frenchy, and they're not from France at all. They were German dogs and very good at water retrieving and hunting. They even herded a little bit with them. But
she sees her.
I know she's watching the monitor and watching herself. She goes, "Who is that dog in there?" I
Who is
love
that
it.
beautiful dog I'm
Yes,
staring
she
at
says,
right
"Oh my." Look at that. She's still loving
It's
it.
on the outtakes.
Yeah, and the dogs themselves are so smart. They were the first dogs that were used in circuses. They have, absolutely got this coat that doesn't shed. When you breed another dog to this dog, such as Labradoodle, Poodle, all this kind of stuff, then you really don't get the effect, because Labradoodles and Golden Doodles, they all still shed a little bit. But these dogs do not. And for a person who has allergies, oh, she's got such personality, I can't stand it. I love this dog. I love you, London. You are adorable. Are you adorable? Are you adorable? You're a very adorable girl. Guess what? I bet I've got a toy over here for you. Sorry, I have to skip a little bit of this. I'm getting enamored here. we have this for your mom. That's a $100 gift certificate from A1 Pet Emporium. But now
Great
let's
folks at A1.
let's get to the main thing.
Oh no.
What is that? She said, I don't know, but it's she's looking
What is
at the
going
mom
on
going,
here?
who is that? We'll give that to your mom. Let's see. I bet we've got one that, this one does something good. Oh, yeah, that's more it. Isn't that more it? Is that it? Bless her heart. She said there's strange things all over here. But she has a personality that I'm just loving. And they make great pets. They come in 3 sizes. They come in many different colors, and they are highly underrated. I wish, I've had one that I absolutely adored. I wish she were still around. This dog is absolutely, she's gonna whoop at that. She's gonna whoop at herself. Thank you so much, Lesa, for bringing her. Bring her back more often. I love this dog. This may be my favorite.
Lesa, London stole the show.
London stole the
Lesa
show.
didn't say one word.
That's okay.
Lesa, say something.
It's all about London.
It's all about London.
With that, we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats. Quality does not have to cost more, and we only have the best. If your pet suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, or hair loss, it may be the result of their diet. A1 Pet Emporium can help. We offer pet portraits monthly, adorable rescue animals every Saturday from noon to 4, and free dog and cat food samples. Locally owned and operated, we want to be your neighborhood pet store.
So today we are so fortunate to have Dr. Giles with us. How are you, Dr. Giles?
I am well, thank you. How are you doing today?
Just fine. And tell me where your place of business is. Where's your facility?
I have Village Animal Hospital in Northwest Oklahoma City on Hefner and May Avenue.
Yes, we have passed there. We've gone in there. It is a wonderful place and so handy to everybody. There's so many people who live in that area and live around that area. It's a perfect place for veterinarians. I am so glad to see that happening, because a lot of times when something happens to your dog, you get a symptom, you have to drive so far, to find someone. But luckily, you are there, and everybody is so appreciative of it.
Yeah, Doctor, thanks for coming. May I ask you a question? It is hot. Well, not today. Today's actually a nice day, but it's been scorching outside.
Absolutely.
I've got 4 Chihuahuas at home. I let them out, and we kind of let them stay out there because they love the heat. But how does the heat affect them? Like, how long is too long? I'm worried about their little paws on the cement, all that stuff. What do we got to look out for?
Rule of thumb, you can't ever go wrong by, if it's too hot for you, it's going to be too hot for your dogs, okay? So you always need to have the basics, water, shade, You know, get them in out of the elements after they're out there for a while. If you have a dark-coated dog, they're not going to dissipate that heat as well. They're going to be more prone to heat exhaustion. If you have a brachiocephalic breed dog, which means if you have the short pug nose, you know, boxers or things of that nature, they're not going to dissipate heat as well. Get them inside, get them cool, you know.
Exactly.
Take care of themselves take care of them like you would yourself.
Okay.
Exactly. So what would be the symptom if my dog is getting overheated? What would be a symptom that he's having some kind of big problem?
Panting, no energy, and then, you know, it's going to be that they may just fall over on you. Okay?
So are their gums a different color?
Gums can turn pale on them. They can get the opposite, a little hyperemic sometimes too. But you'll know if their dog is suffering from heat exhaustion.
Yes.
And there's a simple thing you do before you call us, before you reach for the phone and go call your veterinarian. Just a cool water bath. Do not put them in an ice cold bath, but just cool water and start gradually lowering that temperature. Okay?
Or a dog
and
that
then you call us.
Yeah, a dog that maybe is too big, you take a wet rag and kind of, you know, take the water and wash them off and inside their ears and their mouths and the bodies. That would be good for something like that if you weren't able to bathe them, actually put them in water.
Whatever you gotta do. Ice packs under the you know, forearms there and armpit area. Whatever you need to do to cool that body
And you know,
down.
we have so many questions from our viewers about the different diseases. Everybody likes to take their dogs camping. Their dogs jump in a pond. They come back with leptospirosis, which is what?
Leptospirosis is...
It's hard to pronounce.
it is a bacteria. It's in the spirochete family, which means that it can actually move around a little bit. There are many, many different strains of this, but there are a handful that we can vaccinate for on the dog side, and it will cause primarily kidney problems, but also liver problems. You know, you're going to see a dog that's going to have lethargy, maybe a little anorexia, vomiting, diarrhea, run a fever. Bring him into us. We'll take care of it.
It's pretty easy to take care of?
It can be a difficult disease.
It can be a deadly
Absolutely.
disease, you know, if you don't recognize the symptoms, which is so important. So what about like Ehrlichia? Where do they get Ehrlichia?
Ehrlichia is a disease on the rise, unfortunately, in the dog population. It is under the family of a rickettsial disease, which is, again, a different strain of bacteria. And there's a group of these. You have Ehrlichia, you have Rocky Mountain spotted fever, which is extremely prevalent in Oklahoma, not only on the human side, but also on the dog side.
Exactly.
And Lyme's disease, which we don't have a big problem here. That's primarily, you know, out in the Northeast. And then there's another one called anaplasmosis. So all of those are in the same umbrella of family, transmitted by ticks, to answer your question. Different ticks can transmit specific ones or multiple ones of these diseases, okay? Doesn't matter. You got a tick on the dog, get rid of the tick.
Yes.
You know?
And you know, and so many people say, well, you know, I don't have ticks in my house, or I got rid of that. But you know, if you take your dog outside for a walk, where there are trees, where the grass is tall, you know, you get this kind of thing, especially dogs that go camping, you know, you have to just be alerted to that. So what can you do then? What do you recommend, I'll put it that way, for the tick thing? Do you do the trifectas? Do you do the collars? What do you do?
I think you look for what works for your situation, okay? A lot of people used to always use the oil on the back, okay? That was once a month, and that worked fine. But there were some disadvantages to that. You know, it was a greasy dog, one dog would lick the other dog, etc. Now there is a pill that you can give that gets fleas and ticks, called NexGard, you know, and they eat that once a month. There's a slew of products out there, all are a little bit different. Nothing really gets the big three all in one, which would be fleas, ticks, and heartworm. Yeah. Okay.
Now, let me ask you a question then putting you on the spot here. Trifectas, does it also, I know it's good for heartworms, does it also get fleas and ticks?
No.
Okay, that was my supposition. But people will say, no, I give trifectas. That's tri. All three of them, all three of those things go. But I have had more people call me and say, should I use, if I'm using trifectas for my heart, for the heartworm thing, then what should I use in addition for the fleas and ticks?
I probably wouldn't endorse any one particular product. I think it depends really on the situation.
Okay.
Whether you need a collar, or do you need a collar and a topical? Do you need an oral? But if you just read the label, it will tell you exactly what it gets in there.
Yeah, and I think your point was well taken on because dogs, if you have a multiple dog household, dogs are going to be licking around on each other. So the gel that you put on their backs or down the backs, the oil, that can be a little bit suspected as far as other dogs getting into it. So my feeling would be maybe the collar or the pill. If you give them a pill that will take care of that, then you don't have all of the things the what ifs, that could happen, right?
That's right. Did you have coverage throughout the front and the back part of the dog? You watch them eat it. You know that they ingested it. So, there's pros and cons to everything.
Yeah.
But do something to keep these critters protected.
Why is there not the pill that does all three? And can we invent it?
I think whatever drug company comes out with that will probably hit the home run.
Corner of the market.
Corner of the market.
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
Pat, we need to work on it.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Well, not me. I'm not that smart. But by the same token, that has answered a lot of the questions. I appreciate that. So really what I am hearing from you, and I bet most veterinarians would agree, if you're going to feed the worm, the thing for heartworms, you feed that, and then you give a pill for the fleas and the ticks, because it'll be systemic. It'll go through everything, as you say, So that sounds like it's a winner to me.
It is. Nothing's perfect, but I think, again, you look at each situation on an individual basis and treat accordingly. And I think, you can't ever go wrong with, if you have a question or a problem, pick up the phone and call your veterinarian.
Call the vet.
Don't call Dr. Google.
Dr. Google.
Call your vet.
I agree. That's another issue I'd like to cover too. People go so much on the internet and get these answers. This is not the way to go, folks. Call your vet.
Call your vet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Call the doc.
High five on that, my dear. Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your coming. We have made so many good answers here for people, and that's the whole mission. Thanks again. I appreciate
pleasure.
it. Will you come back?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Hey, Dog Talk fans, make sure you join the conversation on social media. Just go to facebook.com/dogtalktv. We'd love to hear a story of your furry friend, so send us an email to pat@dogtalktv.com. You could be featured as our Dog of the Week. Now, enjoy the show.
Every once in a while, we get a call from someone that says, hey, this is my breed of dog, and you haven't done it yet. So we try to accomplish that for every breed that we have ever known. And somebody called about Cairn Terriers. Have you ever seen a Cairn Terrier?
I can't say that I have.
Well, you're going to see him now. We happened to do a video a couple years ago, and some ladies approached us and said, hey, we got Cairn Terriers. And I love the breed, so here it is.
Cairn Terriers.
Yes. I got a call recently from a group of ladies who insisted I do a video on Cairn Terriers. All of these women are seniors and seem pretty intent on their mission. I was a little bit afraid they'd make me stand in the corner if I refused, but loving terriers the way I do, I knew it'd be fun. So I told them that if I complied, they would have to agree to participate. And they did. We began our video with a Cairn Terrier icon. Who can forget Dorothy in the movie The Wizard of Oz, and her wonderful little companion Toto, who accompanied her on this experience and went to Munchkinland? Well, that little Toto was a Cairn Terrier, and that little Toto superstar helped a great deal in making this breed of dog very popular in America. So join us as we discover the wonderful world of Cairn Terriers. You'll enjoy it. I wanted to discuss the standard of Cairn Terriers and a little bit about the history of this breed, so we visited with Barbara Lewis. So this is the ancestral breed, really, of terriers like this. The Skies and all of those that came after. This dog was, I guess, what, in the 15th century?
In the 15th century, and actually, of course, their original job was to hunt and kill vermin, and so they're very independent.
Yeah.
That's also part of the standard, is their personality. They're supposed to be very independent, very active,
very focused, very focused. Like all terriers, but this one especially. And can you imagine a dog of this size hunting fox or otter? You know,
absolutely. Those animals are bigger than this dog.
That is exactly right. So they had to have a great deal of courage.
They have to have a great deal of courage. They also have a high tolerance for pain, and so you have to really be watchful, because if they're injured or sick, they don't necessarily show you that they are.
Tell me what the standard is for this breed.
Well, Pat, you know, every breed has a standard that when a breeder breeds dogs, they try to breed the perfect dog. And so the standard describes what a perfect dog is. And for a Cairn Terrier, some of the things that they look for is their eyes should be sunken. They should be on the front of their head like his are, rather than on the side. The ears are small and pointed. The tail is erect, but it's not carried back over their back. It just should be erect and stand up straight. They have a level back. They can be any color but white. So they come, this is considered a Wheaten. The Wheatens typically have dark ears and dark muzzles, and sometimes a dark tip on their tail.
Thank you so much, Barbara. We appreciate this information, and I know that everybody who really likes terriers will love this one, because you're so cute.
Yes, he is.
I next found a Grand Champion Cairn Terrier at a local AKC dog show and had a quick interview with his owner. You are a handler for this dog? Are you the owner?
I'm a breeder owner.
You're a breeder owner. Well, it is a beautiful, beautiful standard of this breed. Just absolutely adorable. We're looking forward to seeing you in the ring. So how long have you been breeding Cairns?
Probably for about 25 years.
No kidding. Well, then you ought to be well experienced in this, and this one is such a jolly, beautiful little dog. So is this a male or female?
It's a male.
This is a male.
Yeah.
So does this dog have points on its?
Yes, he has his championship. He got his championship points, and now we're going for a grand championship.
For a grand champion. I am so impressed. Well, we will let you go and get ready to do that, and looking forward to seeing you in the ring.
Okay.
Take care. Dr. Chris Rispoli was on our list for consultants to check out information about the health of Cairns. Dr. Rispoli, how are you?
Good, thank you.
I understand that you know about these Cairn Terriers.
A little, yes.
Yeah, you know, they are wonderful little pets, but I was wondering about any predispositions for illnesses.
They have a few, but overall they're a very healthy dog. What we see mostly in the clinic is allergies, which can come in the form of ear infections, tear staining from the eyes draining, or skin problems.
Internally, do they have a diabetic kind of?
No, the diabetes happens more in the adult females that are older and intact, that haven't been spayed. But in my 16 years, I've never met a diabetic Cairn, so it's very rare.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's nice to talk to you.
When we research a particular breed of dog, I always seek out someone to talk about the nearest rescue for that breed. And we definitely wanted to find out that information about Cairns. So I asked Pat White. I wanted to find out about rescues. What rescues are available for these little dogs?
Yes. The first is the Cairn Terrier Club of America, who has a national rescue system. There is another national rescue called the Colonel Potter Cairn Terrier Rescue Network. And then a little closer to home, in Oklahoma, there is the OK Westie Rescue, which not only rescues Westies, but also Cairns and other terriers.
When we finished our research, I asked each of the ladies to describe in their own words the personalities and value of these little dogs.
Karens are the essence of terriers. They are bold, scrappy, independent, hardy, yet very cuddly.
Karens were bred for specific jobs, and they take their jobs very seriously. One of them is keeping the vermin free from barns like this.
Keeping vermin away by digging them up.
Karen Terriers make great friends. Oh, you're so cute.
These women will admit to being amateurs when it comes to the business of the dog industry, but they are totally professional Karen Terrier advocates. And as a finale, they asked for Nancy Haddock's coaching, and they tried their hand at agility. I think that if these little dogs had had professional handlers, they probably would have done very well. However, I noticed that the dogs and the ladies got great exercise that day and much fun. And I'm sure that they all slept very well that night. So now you're filled in on Karen Terriers. They're amazing.
Toto was a Karen Terrier, I found out. I saw my veterinarian.
I know it. Oh,
Dr. Chris.
Dr. Chris is wonderful.
That's my guy.
Thank goodness for all these vets that we can count on. And speaking of counting on, this as one of our sponsors, OKC Pets. And we're very, very pleased that they do sponsor us. It's a wonderful magazine, so informative. There's so many items and issues that, you know, I just save them. They are so good. And so
advertisements,
it's absolutely,
coupons,
absolutely
information, articles.
So
Pat Becker writes an article.
We
for
write
OKC.
it, you know, and we hope that all the messages get out. So what do you have over there?
Well, Pat, you know, like I like to come on here after I watch an animal movie, and this one I selected is Wiener Dog Internationals. It's about wiener dogs. How can you go wrong with wiener dogs?
With wiener dogs, I don't think you can go wrong with wiener dogs.
I have a half wiener, half Chihuahua. Chiweenie.
You have a Chiweenie. There you go.
That's why.
There you go.
That's why I picked this
Absolutely. And we like Winn-Dixie too. It's a wonderful, wonderful little things. So many things for you to see, so many things for you to do. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Bill Bonadio is here.
Bonadio!
The mad scientist.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats. Quality does not have to cost more, and we only have the best. If your pet suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, or hair loss, it may be the result of their diet. A1 Pet Emporium can help. We offer pet portraits monthly, adorable rescue animals every Saturday from noon to 4, and free dog and cat food samples. Locally owned and operated, we want to be your neighborhood pet store.
Bill, what do you have going here?
Well, some people call me Bill Nye the Science Guy, and today we're going to talk about, we've talked about all kinds of food that we can give to your dog. Well, there's a lot of stuff that we can eat that your dogs can't, and they're toxic, and they are poisonous.
Whoa, well, let's hear about that.
Well, this is the stuff we're not going to put in your dog bowl. All right, we're going to start out with a few items that people already pretty much know. Everybody knows about chocolate. Well, theobromine is what's in chocolate that is really bad for your dog. So obviously people know about chocolate. You know, when we cook all the time, we don't put any salt in our food for our dog. If we're going to go ahead and eat with our dog, we're going to cook the food for our dog first, and then for us, we'll add the salt. So we're going to keep the salt out of there. Avocados. You know, guacamole a lot of times is sitting on your dining room or your living room table when you're entertaining guests, and it's really great to keep it away from the dog because persin is the substance that's in avocados that's very, very bad for your dog. So keep the guacamole, even if you do have a Chihuahua or a Chiweenie, away from the dog. Onions, you know, we cook with very, very, very little, but it's not very good for your dog. It's bad for the digestion, causing them to vomit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good old a cup of canes or a cup of Folgers, whatever. Anything with caffeine is not very good for them. It's really bad for their liver.
Absolutely.
And you know, all you guys out there that are drinking all of those energy drinks, keep them away from your dogs. It's not very good at all. Raisins, I was kind of surprised. I thought that would be kind of a wholesome thing to do, but the raisins are another thing that's not very good for them.
That's
so we
right.
need to keep the raisins away.
Grapes, raisins, stuff like this.
Exactly.
Very, very toxic.
The raw stuff, you know, you think, well, a dog is omnivorous, you can eat meat and can eat vegetables and such, but raw things, even though, you know, you think a wild dog will kill for itself and and eat raw, but we're not supposed to give raw stuff to our dogs, especially raw eggs and raw fish especially. Now, I cook a lot with salmon, and once it's cooked, all the possible parasites that are in the salmon are going to get destroyed.
Oh, so many dogs, you know, when you bring home the groceries, something can drop on the floor or something, they can pick something up. And the thing, then Bill is right. I love avocados, but these are very, very toxic to a dog. Chocolate, for goodness sakes, people, do not feed that to. Some people feed it as a treat. I don't understand that. It's like, you know, the death wish for a dog.
It is. And then the last thing I want to talk about is, you know, when it's really hot outside, it's time for cold one. Well, don't be pouring some on the concrete for your dog to lick. He doesn't need anything. You think this is bad for you, it's bad for your liver and bad for your brain. Well, it's worse for your dog.
Absolutely.
They're much smaller. Their bodies cannot do anything with it but just hurt them.
Oh, absolutely.
So, Sherri, tell us what you got that's good since we talked about the bad stuff. What do you got that's
Well,
good?
our blessing is our business. We take what you just gave, the information, and pop it into what is healthy for them. One thing that we also need to focus on in giving them healthy things is where you place different things in your house. Some of the terrible things for dogs is, you know, the seeds of things, the rinds of things. If, let's say, for example, the onion, that type of thing, if your eyes are tearing up, it's obvious the dog shouldn't have it.
Absolutely.
So we offer things that are going to be dehydrated, so you don't have to worry about the organisms, and yogurts to counterbalance any tummy problems, and hydration, you know, the beer thing. It's total hydration we need to focus on. So at the store, my store, we expand in an extremely positive way. Instead of giving them sugar and giving them, you know, the negative products, you want to give dehydrated, like sweet potato. We decorate with egg protein. We focus on, once again, the dehydrated. This is a wonderful way of, you talked about salmon.
Yep.
We have cod, and then we also have a big piece of salmon. So we just focus on the positive things and or clean eating.
Yeah.
So we just,
your chihuahuas would go crazy.
Oh my
over some
God, they
of this
love
stuff.
peanut butter. This is all amazing. Thank you
Good.
so much for the information, guys.
It really is.
And you know, Pat, you were very nice enough to do one of these for me that they're at the restaurant. And this is basically the foods that you can give your dog. So if you're not
gotta
sure,
take one of those.
you know, come by the restaurant and pick up one of these for your dog, and that way you'll know what you can cook.
Yeah, I think we're going to have another
Fantastic.
contest too, aren't we, in both places?
We are.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out, and the people will come on. It'll be just great. Guys, thank you so much. I love your outfits. Take care, guys. We've had a very, very full, informative kind of show. Thank you, Brett, so much.
Thank you for having me again,
Look forward to
Pat. Thank
having
you.
you again. You take care.
See ya.
And we'll see you next week.
This is for you.
Dogs. We're talking about dogs. Talking about big dogs, talking about little dogs, oh yeah. Chasing the ball, chasing the cat, digging hole, thing like that. Dogs. Talking about dogs. Laughing dogs, sad dogs, happy dogs, mad dogs. Dogs. Just talking about dogs.